When you live in a house with your parents who don't deal with their emotions and are always resentful because they can't communicate their expectations effectively and instead just lash out and yell at each other every day before getting on with their lives like nothing happened while all their problems lie unresolved for decades because that's just what their parents did and they don't know any better. Hi, I'm Lucy. And if I don't change, I'm going to end up exactly the same. Which is why this year, I'm moving out. It's pronounced hallucination. It is way too hot to be wearing this in freaking summer. My last video was about the 5 lessons I learned in 2020. And well, it's been a week into 2021 and I'm already learning a lot of freaking lessons. But one thing I've learned this year is that, wow, I project a lot of my own problems onto other people. If you don't know what projection is, we'll get into it in another video. But essentially, it's when you judge other people for things that you judge within yourself. I think I've talked about it in my last video, but I don't remember. One of the things I subconsciously judge other people for is not moving out of their parents' houses when they could. And guess what? I haven't moved out of my parents' house because I don't have a reason, and therefore I'm actually just judging myself for not having moved out yet. Woo! Yes, me, who's been living at this house for the last 13 years, has had the same job for the last 2.5 years, and has a crap ton of savings, which I don't even really use because I only spend money on food and transport anyway. So why have I not moved out? Yep, we're all hypocrites here, including me. So here's the video that I decided I'm going to make for myself to convince myself, or rather to remind myself, why I need to move out and why, if you want to, you can move out too. Disclaimer, yes, I understand that there are a lot of people who are literally or physically or like there are so many reasons why you might not be able to move out of your parents' house, and that is totally okay, and there's no reason why you can't. There's no reason why you should move out of your parents' house if you don't want to, or if you can't afford it, or a whole bunch of other reasons. I'm not going to tell you what to do, and there are no shoulds. So let's get into it. 5 things, 5 reasons to move out in 2021 away from your Asian parents in their house that you can't stand because everything is so messy and I actually can't deal with it. So these are actually 5 things that I subconsciously judge other people for. Things that are really things that I don't really like about myself. And this is kind of related to moving out. So here we go. Number 1, being uncomfortable, or rather, being comfortable. I feel like living at home is kind of like my last relationship. Like, it's nice, but do I really want to be here? Do I really like this? Am I in this for the right reasons? Like, am I staying at home because I'm afraid of the unknown of, just like, you know, when you're in a relationship and you're afraid of being single? Or do I actually want to be at home? And I think we all know the answer is no, you do not want to stay here or in that relationship that you knew was not really good. It is quite nice not having to pay the bills or pay for rent or, you know, cook for myself sometimes. But at the end of the day, you know you'd be better off leaving and working on yourself and becoming a better person. So you kind of just get annoyed at yourself that you're kind of falling into this cycle of complacency where everything is comfortable but you really don't want to be there. And that's something that I need to work on accepting within myself, that 1, it's okay, but 2, also, I need to get the hell out of here. Number 2, speaking of self-growth, I was house sitting at a friend's place for the last 4 days, which is partly why I'm making this video, but I realized that there are so many things that I don't know how to do, and I really want to learn how to do them. But when I'm at home, my mom feeds me, and therefore it enables me not to have to learn to cook. But I also live in a house where we have like 3 fridges and a pantry that is inaccessible because we have so many other like random shelves full of stuff, and just a house full of furniture where basically everyone who used to live here has moved out now, and it's just rooms full of random furniture that no one ever uses. Lucy, get the hell out of this house. Yeah, learning to be independent. That's reason number 2. Number 3, I know I act like a child when I'm at home because my mom treats me like one and therefore I will act like one, and I'm also quite frustrated at everything and I'm stressed out at home because no one respects my boundaries, because when you're a child you're just told what to do and you don't have your own opinions and you're not allowed to have your own opinions and you're just told to shut up and do whatever your parents tell you to do. And then you get you're just like, I hate you, I hate everything, why you always gotta be like this sort of thing. Yeah. I end up acting like a child at home and I don't like who I am at home. I think I've held a lot of shame about being a bad daughter. But yeah, our parents aren't perfect and we definitely don't owe them anything because they are our parents and we deserve unconditional love from them because they also fuck us up. So yeah, that's number 3, acting like a child and getting rid of that by moving out. Number 4, using money as an excuse. I know that I get annoyed at people for using money as an excuse when, you know, they can do things that they can clearly afford, that they enjoy, but they're like, oh, but it's kind of a bit too expensive, and like it's really just like $2 more, or like not always, but you know, like some things really doesn't cost that much more. And this is something that's been ingrained into me from my parents, is that you're poor, you can't afford things, you must save every cent you get and everything counts. Moving out is an investment for our mental health. Things that might not directly affect us in the present that you can notice are not necessarily things that you do not want to put money into. I think spending the money on rent now is going to make my mental health so much better, as I've learned when house sitting. Money is not an excuse, money is there to be used. My mental health is more important than my money, and I have enough money to move out safely. It's going to make a really big difference in the future. Number 5, not doing what others tell you is good for you. I am definitely guilty of that, and I obviously get annoyed at other people when they don't do what I tell them is good for them, and then they come to you and they're like, oh, life sucks. Me with living at home, complaining about my house to my friends who are like, move out, and then I'm like, yeah, but all of these reasons. But let's be honest, we all don't do the things that we know are good for us. Sleep well, eat well, exercise. Maybe this time actually do what you know is good for you. I need to move out. That's what is good for me. I am going to move out. And also right now, because of COVID, that rent is so much cheaper than it normally would be, so there is no better time than now to move out. So this year, I'm going to move out. What about you? Tell me down below in the comments if you have moved out already or moved out for the first time. What was it like? What were your thoughts beforehand? And if you're still living at home, what's stopping you from moving out? Tell me down in the comments below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video. Click that notification bell for when I upload, which is definitely going to be every week because I'm trying my very best to make sure that I actually do this year. Because I might have started, but continuing it is a whole other thing. Thank you so much for watching and for supporting. I really appreciate all of you. And from my heart to yours, I hope you have a fantastic rest of your week, rest of your 2021, rest of your whatever year it might be now that you've come across and stumbled across this video, maybe 5-10 years later. And I hope you also find the courage to face the uncertainty and to voice your fears and to go and move out of your parents' house if you can. Thank you for being here, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye! Hail Brene Brown. We're just gonna wait until they stop yelling about the cards, yeah. Just wait for a few minutes, for a few more minutes, and we're gonna waste all of our time standing here figuring out what we want to do with what we're doing. Actually, you know what? Lies and slander. We're gonna try this again. Yep, me who's been living at home for the last 13 years. I mean, no one really expects me to live out of home before when I'm a child. Anyways, yes. And if there's one thing I've learned over the past year, which is technically not 2020 anymore, but, you know, in the last... Let's start that again.